COVID-19. Let's go to China. Yeah, right. China's good. China's a fantastic place if you're part of the club, but if you're not, it's not. So let's look at this. This is reported by the Wall Street Journal. China jails citizen journalist for her accounts of COVID-19 in Wuhan. All right. So prosecution underscores the lengths to which Beijing is willing to defend its official narrative of the pandemic. And so you go back to Saudi Arabia, right? And so by advocating for women driving, you could end up in jail under anti-terrorism laws. Okay. And now look, in China, we have something similar, don't we? A little bit terrifying. Hong Kong. A Chinese court imposed a 4-year prison term on a citizen journalist who documented how COVID-19 ravaged the city where the coronavirus was first detected, in a case that underscores the lengths to which Beijing has defended its official narrative of the pandemic. Zhang Jian, at 37 years old, was convicted of picking quarrels and provoking trouble after a roughly 2.5-hour trial at the Shanghai Pudong New Area People's Court on Monday, where prosecutors accused her of spreading falsehoods about the coronavirus pandemic through social media posts and interviews and with overseas media, her lawyer said. The verdict came with more than 7 months, holy crap, read Mike, after authorities detained Ms. Zhang in the central Chinese city of Wuhan, the pandemic's original epicenter, where she posted more than 120 YouTube videos chronicling conditions in the city and detailing what she saw as missteps in the government's initial pandemic response. Now think about that. A YouTuber describing the truth as they see it and putting it out there so other people can see different points of view. Is this terrorism, guys? If this is terrorism, then I'm a terrorist. Right? This is exactly what we're talking about. This is this allowed? Should this be allowed? Like, again, these are the types of things that nobody freaking wants to talk about. Everybody pretends everything's fine. Everything's fine here. There's nothing to see. It's just a terrorist on the internet with an alien hat talking about the news, right? Just another terrorist. It's just a matter of time before this guy slips up and says something wrong, goes out of bounds, and we come get him, right? We come get him. We're not allowed to talk or think this way. That's the problem, right? We're not allowed to chronicle events close to us and put it out for public consumption, because guess why? Remember, the whole premise of this show in particular, is propaganda, is one mainstream narrative to rule them all. And that's the reason we're not allowed to dance on the peripheral here, in the periphery of these stories and the media. We're not allowed to highlight these things and point these out. Sure, they're reported. We can find reporting of them. But again, right? How come this isn't pressed in the mainstream? Because it's inconvenient, of course. They don't want to talk about these things because they know everything's a big illusion. And just like those plastic panels at the grocery store that don't do a damn thing for COVID, right? They're still putting them up because it's the illusion of security. It's the illusion of truth. And instead, here we are, actually possibly in danger by just talking about the news on the internet, right? Like there are laws that can be enacted to make what we're doing right now a crime. And if you don't think that's a gigantic problem, then I'm not sure what world you're living in, because this stuff's terrifying. This stuff is terrifying. So anyway, to continue here, so she was locked up. 120 videos chronicling conditions in the city and detailed what she saw as missteps in the government's initial pandemic response. Now, I'm pretty sure you could say that the world over about how everybody just basically stepped on their dick regarding COVID, because at first they overestimated and they underestimated and they back and forth and they did this and they closed that and they did the other thing and then they put up the plastic panels and then wear the masks and the social distance and the thing. And look, it's still. Turn on CNN. It's still, if it bleeds, it leads. Panic every day. Panic at the disco. And here we are. Yeah. Terrible. China jails citizen journalist for her accounts of COVID-19 in Wuhan. Yeah, terrible. Let's see. Axel says, I mean, in China, they probably would throw a charge at you if you got foreign attention. Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. Should they? Of course they shouldn't, right? I mean, you can't truly believe that's like a legitimate thing. Superbike says, keep selling us those cheap goods, China will just ignore how horrible you are. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, keep giving us good prices, and we'll just pretend like the NBA didn't just, shit on freedom for some cash, for some sweet cash.